Welcome back to the Cumbie Show. We tell like it is and we don't care how you feel. And Miami and Carson Beck are headed to the national championship. Is the U back? What? We'll find out soon. But what a game. This was a great game to watch. Miami gets the win, 31-27, a back-and-forth game. I think in the fourth quarter alone, there was 5 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Fantastic game. And I'll be honest, as a butt-hurt Georgia fan, I'm not shedding any tears over this Ole Miss loss. But if you're an Ole Miss fan, what a game. I know it's a tough loss. It always sucks to lose, especially in the playoffs when you play such a great game. But, I mean, what a performance by this Ole Miss team. And Trinidad Chambliss, that young man, that man is a hell of a quarterback. He made my life hell as a Georgia fan that last game. I couldn't stand watching him. But you got to give credit where credit is due, and he played his tail off. They fought all the way until the very end. The last second, they did not quit. And I thought for a good moment, there's a chance. Are they actually going to do this thing? Are they going to come back with 18 seconds left and go down the field and score a touchdown? They very well almost did. But they come up just a little bit short. And there's so much drama throughout the season for Ole Miss. You know, part of me feels bad for him, part of me doesn't, because, you know, I'm a Dogs fan. Well, it is what it is. But with the whole thing with Lane Kiffin, you know, leaving, they having a historical season, the best season they've ever had in their franchise, for their head coach, Lane Kiffin, just to leave to go down to Louisiana and all the drama that happened there. But, hey, they fought. But, like I said, come up just a little short in the end. But let's talk about this game. 31-27, Miami wins. You don't know a funny stat? Both Carson Beck and Trinidad Chambliss had the same completion percentage. They threw the ball the same amount of times and completed the same amount of passes. Both of them, 23 of 37. Carson Beck, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Chambliss, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Beck threw for 268 yards. Chambliss, 277 yards. Chambliss threw for just 9 more yards than Beck. I think the story of this game was the 4 field goals by Ole Miss. 4 field goals. You got to score touchdowns. It's the playoffs. This late in the season, you win and you keep playing. You lose, you go home. 4 field goals. You left a lot of points on the field. This Miami defense was a bend but don't break mentality, and that paid off for them. It was a very sweated out game, but it paid off. They did just enough. They limited Ole Miss just enough to get the win. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you win by 1 or 100. But 4 field goals. That kicker for Ole Miss, he's elite. He's going to play in the league one day. 45, 55, almost 60-yard field goals. He's hitting them through the middle. I think he missed 1 this game, and it was hit off the upright. So, but looking at Miami, you know, Carson Beck, 268 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I will be honest. When he threw that interception, when Carson Beck threw that interception in this game, I said out loud to my family, I was like, oh, Miami lost this game. Because when Carson Beck throws 1 interception, he throws multiple. And I was convinced, yep, he's going to throw 2 more. But give credit where credit is due. Carson Beck only threw 1 interception. I mean, you go back, look at his time at Georgia. Look at this season with Miami. When he throws 1 interception, he throws 3 more. It just is what it is. He doesn't just throw 1. So when he threw that first one, I was like, yikes, expect another one coming. Expect multiple coming. But he didn't. And this game ended the same exact way that the Ole Miss-Georgia game. Ole Miss had the lead late in the 4th. Georgia, Miami both get the ball. They go down the field. They get in the red zone. Less than a minute left. Couple timeouts. You either kick the field goal to tie it up to send it overtime, or score a touchdown, take the lead, and force Ole Miss to score a touchdown to beat you. Georgia kicks the field goal, ties it to send it overtime. They leave too much time on the clock. Ole Miss goes down way too quick. They score a touchdown. They win the game. Miami, the difference in this game is Miami scored a touchdown. So they forced Ole Miss to have to go the length of the field to score a touchdown. A field goal is not going to do it. So they got to score a touchdown, where in the last game against Georgia, all Ole Miss had to do was kick a field goal to take the lead and they win. That's what Miami did. That was the difference between Georgia and Miami in this game, because Georgia and Miami played a very similar game against Ole Miss. But Miami was able to score that last late touchdown to take the lead, where Georgia wasn't. And I was convinced Carson Beck was going to throw an interception on that drive. I was like, man, less than a minute left. You got to go the length of the field. He's already thrown an interception. He's probably going to throw a game-losing interception. He didn't. He did not. There were a couple of very close calls where I was like, oof, very close to throwing the ball, to throw an interception, but he didn't. They're able to go down, score a touchdown. He walks it off, scores a touchdown with his own legs. Carson Beck, what are you doing, man? What was that? Where was that at Georgia? Look, I know we Georgia fans give him all the hate, primarily because of the way he left, but what a game by him. What a year by him. He had some up and downs this season, but, I mean, Carson Beck is in the national championship, and the Dogs aren't. So give credit to where credit's due. But again, like I said, with you flip it over to Ole Miss, they played a hell of a game. Trinidad Chambliss is a hell of an athlete. I hope he gets a place in the league. I think he's really good. The news just came out that he is not eligible for his 6th year. The NCAA denied his 6-year eligibility, and I think it's about time. I'm tired of these 6-year seniors, these 7-year seniors. Play your 5 years. Go to the league, get out. We don't need 28-year-old grown men playing in college football. But that's not the story of this game, this video. I am curious where Ole Miss goes next year. I'm very curious how good their backup quarterback is going to be and what they choose to go with. Now, this season, the reason why I'm a little bit worried for Ole Miss next season is that although they're keeping their head coach, they're losing all their offensive staff. Lane Kiffin has taken everything. So who are they going to bring in to replace, and how are they going to run the offense? For Ole Miss, we'll see. They got all offseason to prep for it. But what a game this was. Miami gets the win 31-27, and this was just a great game. If you're a college football fan, what a great game. Obviously, if you're a Miami fan, you're loving it. If you're an Ole Miss fan, you probably hate the outcome. But you can't deny it was a great game to watch. Miami going to the national championship game to take on a very dangerous Indiana Hoosiers football. They put belt to ass against Oregon, 56-22. Who's going to win that game? I will have a preview prediction video coming out of the national championship game here this weekend in the next couple of days. But let me know who you think is going to win it all. Is it Miami? Indiana? I don't know. Miami fans, how are we feeling? Is the U back? You're very close to being back. One win away from winning it all. How you feeling, Miami fans? Because we hear you all off season long that you're back. And you know what? You might very well be back this time. So congratulations to Miami. They get the win to advance to the national championship. Tough break for Ole Miss. You got to watch the last game from the couch. But you should feel good about yourselves. You had a hell of a year. You played your tails off even through all the drama. But come up just a little short in the end. But other than that, over and out.